The history of Mount Krakatoa dates back far beyond the cataclysmic eruption of 1883. An ancient Javanese text called the Books of Kings recorded a far more extreme episode in the year 1416 AD. At the site of what was believed to be the current Krakatoa Islands, the text states that a monstrous rumbling sound was heard from the Mount Butawara, which was followed by dark clouds, lightning, and endless thunders. Soon after, a great storm and devastating rain plunged the entire planet into total darkness. A massive flood came from Mount Butawara, flowing east towards Mount Kumula. As the waters drowned the area, Java became divided, creating the islands of Sumatra. The colossal eruption devastated 3/4 of the ancient mountain and left a huge caldera at the Sunda Strait. The edges of the caldera sprung out of the sea and formed the smaller islands. The eruption was said by many to have caused the pitch black century, which caused a drastic lowering of temperature and caused the Sumpar bubonic disease that drastically cut populations. Some even argue that the cataclysm brought an end to the ancient Persian Empire and Nazca civilization. Early in the morning of May 20th, 1883, the captain of a German warship, Elizabeth, reported seeing an 11-kilometer high cloud of ash and dust rising above the uninhabited islands of Krakatoa. Over the ensuing 2 months, crews on commercial vessels and sightseers on chartered ships would experience similar spectacles, all of which were associated with the explosive noises and churning clouds of black to incandescent ash and pumice. From a distance, the largest of these natural fanfares impressed the local inhabitants on the coastal plains of Java and Sumatra, creating a near festive environment. Little did they realize that these awe-inspiring displays were only a prelude to one of the largest eruptions recorded in history. On Sunday, August 26th, at 12:53 p.m., Krakatoa delivered the opening salvo, climactic eruption that would last throughout the evening of August 27th. The initial blast generated an ear-shattering burst of sound that accompanied by black, churning clouds of volcanic debris that rose quickly to about 25 kilometers above the island. Over the next several hours, it would widen dramatically to the northeast, rising to a height of at least 36 kilometers. On the following day, Monday, August 27th, the frightening display of volcanic power would culminate in a series of at least 4 stupendous eruptions that began at 5:30 a.m., climaxing in a colossal blast that literally blew Krakatoa apart. The noise was heard over 4,600 kilometers away throughout the Indian Ocean, from Rodriguez Island to Sri Lanka in the west to Australia in the east. 2/3 of the island collapsed beneath the sea into the underlying partially vacated magma chamber. The eruption is still recorded up to this day as the loudest sound ever heard in the world in modern history. The combined effects of pyroclastic flows, volcanic ashes, and tsunamis had disastrous results in the region. The official death toll recorded by the Dutch authorities was 36,417 casualties, although some sources put the estimate at more than 120,000. The eruption destroyed a large chunk of the mountain and left remnants of it on the smaller islands. Then suddenly in 1927, in the center of the sea caldera, a new mountain rose that was later dubbed as the Child of Krakatoa. The newly born mountain continues to grow today at an average rate of 5 inches or 13 centimeters per week, which equates to an average growth of 6.8 meters per year. The island is still very active today, with its most recent eruptive episode having begun in 1994. For now, all we can do is wait on the next eruption and keep our fingers crossed.